Good evening, everybody. This is Johnny Seville. This is your executive summary for stock setups for Friday. Of course, we are coming into the third Friday of the month, which means new open range. Open range finished out today with this, as you can see, with the market closing at 24.32, which is above the open range set of 24.30 and a low of 24.13, so above both of those. So again, another successful open range signal. We had a new open range tomorrow, so we're looking for a 3-point close above or below that, and that will give us the indication of where we're likely to go for the next couple of weeks. Looking at high yield bonds, we have been talking about the fact that we see a possible upward channel building here. So that warns that we're setting up for a downward swing. As you can see, perfectly bouncing off a lot of these contact points, and bounced off that again today. So a break below that would be a warning sign that it's time to get short. But so far we're holding in that, and we could continue until the end of June. So we don't want to jump the gun. We're going to wait for that signal to actually give us the divergence that we're looking for. And certainly if that happened, as well as a downward break from open range, that would spell trouble for the market and time to get short. Stocks above or below their 50-day moving average. We'll have a look at that as well. You can see that while the market was relatively quiet, the stocks did decline sharply from almost 64% of stocks above the 50-day moving average during Tuesday down to 56. So we have had some movement. But that also kind of lines up with that type of oscillation that we're seeing in the high yield bonds. As you can see, we've got that same kind of channeling aspect to the way that stocks within the market have been moving as well. So lots of oscillation has been in the general upward movement, but again, waiting to see if we get a break of either of those or both, and also what open range brings. So the next few days should be extremely interesting. Taking a look at some possible new setups, the MCC was one we talked about in Trading Room tonight, and this has been kind of building this solid base with some reasonable closes in the last few days. Money flow seems to be going up strongly, so what I'd be looking for, we want to see this with a long or a short. We want to see it break new territory so that we know we've got confirmation from either the market or the stock performing on its own. With MCC, I'd be looking for a break of 636, and that could give us a possible first target of 678 and a possible second target of 713. In terms of a stop signal, I'd be looking at 607, which is below this recent bounce and the moving average. So those are the ideas I'd put forward on that one. The other thing that we might want to take a look at, I'd be keeping these closely on your watch list. Hive, we'll be watching that intraday tomorrow. As you can see, that's had a nice rally and possibly gearing up for the next zone. So that looks interesting. ASNA, realty company, a lot of realty companies, especially retail, are starting to have a bit of a bounce. This is back at support as well, so keep this one on your watch list. This is another one at the top of my watch list that I'm looking at. Might get a bounce back up towards this gap fill around 270. So watch that one tomorrow, right at support now. And I think it's Hive. Oh, that's the one we already looked at. Yeah, so those couple I'd be keeping on your watch list for tomorrow. Looking at the short side of the market, we've got MDCO. This one is just breaking down through some long-term support. As you can see, this level here was pretty significant for the stock back through last year, end of last year. We also had high frequency bounce right off of that level, and that all seems to be being broken right as we speak. So this could be interesting. Again, if we break below 30, let's have a look. Break below 37.33, I'd be looking for a first potential target of 34.33, but more this would be looking at a momentum play, so further decline beyond that, but always good to have a target there, and I'd look at a stop signal at 39.33. That was the favorite from today, but certainly there's, again, another couple that you should keep on your watch list. CDZI, this is broken down with significant money flow breakdown, looking for this to break through this area, and that could be a very decent short. So keep your eye on that one. And HUBS, Also on the watch list, this one has broken down through some key support as well. This could certainly be an interesting short trade setup from 66 down. And if you look at the potential there, even if you just look at that extension, there's room to move. You could look at a Fibonacci from the beginning of that trend up towards the end, and you can see that brings us down to the 77% at 53 and change, basically. So HUBS definitely on the watch list for tomorrow if it breaks new lows. And I'd be looking at a stop loss above the high of today's candle of around 66.83. And also keep your eye on Rambus. Rambus has been something we've been watching for quite a while, and that just broke down today below this kind of support that's been there for quite a long time. So again, this could be a much bigger potential play, because if you look at the expansion of that channel all the way through here, if this really kind of gets down to it, this has the potential to get all the way down to around 924. Now, I would look at this support obviously around here at 10 as a significant threat to that. And even that level there at 1050, but that's $1.30 away. So if you start to see that one breaking down, or even rallying back up to this resistance and rejecting, that could also be a possible one. So I wanted to give you a couple to the watch list and highlight some of the favorites as well. Of course, it's all a matter of what happens with open range to dictate where the strong bias will be. So we wanted to give you a bit of a spread between the longs and shorts, and I hope it brings you some happy trading days ahead. Have a wonderful evening and happy trading.